asset which gets analyzed, and sometimes by vested interests or other elements, the data asset is robbed. So we have to be very careful. Just as we are careful with our clothes, our treasures, data assets have to be treasured in the same manner. And therefore we have the cyber security. Cyber thefts are more common. There are always two sides of coin. The technology gives us so much comfort, but then sometimes you have heartaches. And therefore, the cyber security aspect is not lost. We were encouraged to put up this particular title with an approach from Contact Singapore, a government organization of Singapore, recruiting people in India, having more than 4 to 5 years experience in big data and cyber security for employment in Singapore. And all this put together is the bouquet that we bring forth before all of you over the period of these 2 days, and I hope it will generate a lot of knowledge, a lot of networking, which will become a further asset to the society as a whole, helping CSI to grow. Thank you.
Wow, that was beautifully put in, straight from the heart as we could feel it. May I now request the Chairman of CSI Mumbai Chapter, Mr. Uttam Mane, to please give us the welcome remarks.
Distinguished guests, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to you all very warm welcome on behalf of CSI Mumbai chapter, and to say how grateful we are to Dr. Sanjay Deshmukh, Vice Chancellor, Mumbai University, and Sri HOD, Mumbai University, who have accepted our invitation to convene this annual technical seminar. I also welcome our guests, Mrs. Ranjana Narone, MD Accenture, Mr. Nitin Sawant, MD Accenture, and Mr. Raj Gopal, but he from next gen he may join afterwards. Our past chairman, Mr. Chintawar, Professor Gupta, and Silpa, our treasurer. It is gratifying to note that the agenda of seminar covers a wide range of very interesting speakers relating to the big data analytics and cyber security. As this year, our theme is big data and cyber security. And before hand over to Yukti, I want to say once more on behalf of CSI Mumbai chapter organizing committee, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mane. Time for us to extend heartfelt respect and honor to our dignitaries. So it's time for mementos. May I request the youngest Vice Chancellor of the oldest university to please come up here on the dais and respect honors by Mr. Uttam Mane. A round of applause, please. Thank you for joining us today, sir. We totally appreciate it. Thank you so much. May I now request Ms. Anjana to please come on dais and accept honors and respect on our behalf to be presented by Ms. Srivaram Mangai. I have to get this right. Ms. Ranjana, as you know, is the Managing Director of Accenture. So let's hear a round of applause for the fact that she's made time to join us today. Thank you. Absolute pleasure, ma'am. May I now request Dr. Gupta to come up and extend honors to Mr. Nitin, Director from Accenture. A round of applause. I'm sure we've all had breakfast before we came in here. Let's keep it on. Let's keep it on. Can we do that? That's not enough. Can we just keep it going? Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And now may I request Ms. Shilpa Wagh, the Treasurer of CSI Mumbai chapter, to please come and extend honors to Mr. Uttam Mane, the Chairman, CSI Mumbai chapter. Let's hear it for them. Only ones who can be spared of this exercise are the ones who are 90 plus in age. In case there's anyone sitting there, can be excused. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Once again, thank you, dignitaries, for joining us. It's an absolute pleasure to now welcome the Vice Chancellor, Mr. Sanjay Deshmukh, to please come up on stage and address us and share his insights with us. Thank you.
Namaskar and good morning, everybody. At the outset, I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of the University of Mumbai and on my personal behalf for sparing your time and being part of this very important event, which is need of the hour, particularly in the times when we are talking about competitive world and providing opportunity to each and every one of us living in this planet. But as all of you would agree, that the opportunities do not come very easy. The most important opportunity that all of us have got is basically being born in those families where our parents were able to give us best of food, best of clothing, and best of education, which is the most important thing. In the 21st century, our country boasts of being the youngest country in the world by having more than 55% of our population below the age group of 25. But when we talk about educating ourselves, education does not mean by merely imparting knowledge. Particularly at times, about 70 years ago, when we were freed from the dependency and the kingdom in 1947, we were talking about Saksharata Abhiyan, Rashtriya Saksharata Abhiyan. 70 years down the line, we talk about Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan. So we believe that everybody in our country is literate, and we are talking about providing higher education to our population. But when we look at 55% of our population, which is one of the youngest in the country and the world, then only 7% of our undergraduates get a chance to go for post-graduation. And this is a stark reality, despite the fact that we have about 800 universities in the country and more than 42,000 colleges which impart education. Largest section of the society remains without getting an opportunity is only because of the economic disparity. It is nothing to do with caste and creed or social inequality that people talk about. I think we are matured enough to understand the only relationship that we can boast of is a human relationship. We should go beyond all these social definitions, I would say. And therefore, when we are talking about providing education, which is the primary objective of the universities, it is not merely an education which is a continuous process in any way, but it is basically a means to strengthen your mind, to develop good character, and also to be able to stand on your own feet after you get out of the universities and serve this nation, serve the society, and provide opportunities based on your knowledge and wisdom for those who have not been able to get this opportunity. And therefore, for every one of us who are present in this August gathering, it's a greatest responsibility to ensure that we do whatever best we can over and above what we are supposed to do in our profession and in our life socially, because this is the only opportunity that we have got as human beings, and one-time opportunity. And therefore, even though it is aspiration and perspiration that every one of us has done in our life, it is the opportunity that we have created for all of us to be able to be here in different capacities and contribute to the national commitment that all of us should have. And therefore, the people who are sitting on the dais are some of the representatives of all of us who have been able to achieve something due to which we are all privileged to have them for providing us guidelines and some impetus to the young generation, the students of our university, to be able to take back some message, not only in relation to big data analytics or subjects like cyber security, but ultimately how do we use your knowledge and wisdom for the betterment of society. On behalf of the university and on my personal behalf, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Madam Ranjana Naravde, Shri Nitin Sawant, Professor S.C. Gupta, one of our senior most colleagues in the university. And I believe that once a professor, always a professor. There is nothing called superannuation in life. As long as your brain wants to work, you continue to work. And that is the wisdom that we have in our so-called elder generation, which continue to provide us wisdom and guidance. We have my colleague, Madam Shri Varamangai, the HOD of Department of IT. We have Madam Shilpa Wagh, Shri Sandeep ji, Dr. Chari among the audience from IDOL. We also have my other senior colleagues, Dr. Saheb Ali, Dr. Matlani, Madam Sonita Magre, one of our former IT experts, Shri Rajiv Desai, who helped us run one of the most important units, the University Computerization Center. There are so many among the colleagues of mine sitting in audience, many teachers from the university and its affiliated institutions, the professionals of Computer Society of India, the office bearers of Computer Society of India, subject experts, and respected delegates. As I said, it's a great honor to be here, and some of those who must have heard me in a similar gathering of SCI would have definitely remembered that I have brought something to talk on, though it may not be my subject, but I definitely believe that every subject that comes to you should be understood, should be studied well before you talk about it in the larger audience. And therefore, the University of Mumbai, which all of you know is the first in the country which was established along with the University of Madras and the University of Calcutta in 1857. This year we have entered the 160th year of our existence. And as the 55th Vice Chancellor of this great institution, I feel very privileged to address you on the topic which you know better than me. But I can assure you, the areas of research and development that will be talked in this August gathering over the next 2 days, or I think it's 1 day, 2 days, I will be able to definitely take them forward as a guardian of this University of Mumbai and ensure that largest number of our population, the young generation, will get an opportunity, if they wish to get into this field And you will be happy to know that our university was one of the first universities in the country. As early as 3 decades ago, we started our IT department, or rather first program in BSc, Information Technology. And the credit goes to one of our former senior colleagues and the former chairman of AICTE, Dr. Mantha, who was responsible for initiating this particular program. That time the program started from our IT department, which is predominantly a postgraduate department. But we felt that as a university, we should not look at whether it is a post-graduation predominantly that the university offers education in, but we should also look at the young generation which are looking for opportunities. And with only 30 students, we started this BSc IT program in our university, along with about 29 colleges which we invited to run this program at the undergraduate level. Subsequently, during the last 15 years, it has grown, and it has grown to the extent where today about 2